Coaches around the league have learned all your tendencies, and let's face it, playing for as long as he has takes a toll on the body.
And now Dallas' starting group. Washington and Gafford, the combo inside. Flag is out there with Max Christie, and it's Marshall in at the 3, the small forward. And for the Raptors, quickly at point with Barrett by his side near the guards. Barnes is the 4 with Pirtle in the middle, and it's Ingram in at the 3. Grant, these are two teams with some of the highest assist rates in the league.
Yeah, B.A., and it really goes to show the unselfish attitude they both have. Not to mention how many skilled passers are on both rosters.
Now here's Ingram. Back to Quickly. Quickly with a screen on Washington. Pass to Ingram. Jacks up a 3. Knocks down the long J.
Look at how smooth Ingram's shot is. Hard off the pass, he puts up a silky jumper.
Now here's Gafford, covered by Pirtle. Pirtle against Gafford. Down low. And the dunk by Gafford.
When you can get off the floor like that, that wipes away any height advantage.
Ingram, the pass to Pirtle. Toronto passing it around. Outside Ingram. And the Raptors, another 3.
Developing a more compact motion on his shot has improved Ingram's consistency from range.
Pass to Gafford. Here's Flag. Marshall outside. Now Christie, guarded by Barrett. Washington, a screen on Quickly. And here's Flag outside. He can't get it to go. Toronto's gone 2 of 2 at the perimeter. Barnes feeling it out a bit. Ingram on the wing, guarded by Marshall. Barrett can't hit. Washington against Barnes. Washington inside. Rejected by Barnes. To the middle. Barrett passes to Quickly. And he was fouled while in the act of shooting, so he'll take 2 free throws. Primarily seen as a scorer, Emmanuel Quickly's defense is often overlooked, Doris.
It is, B.A., and I think the first thing about his defensive effort is important, right? He works very hard. His navigation over screens. He's very quick with his rotation. He's a really long, rangy athlete. Couldn't agree more about being overlooked defensively.
The free throw drops for Quickly.
One of the things I always like about Emmanuel Quickly, he's decisive with the basketball.
He does not get the second one. The Raptors have a really interesting core, Doris. What do you think about it?
Well, obviously they are loaded with young, talented wings. Scotty Barnes, good scorer, excellent rebounder.
R.J. Barrett, a little bit streaky as a shooter, but a dynamic scorer.
And Brandon Ingram now, still all in their 20s. So which of these players really pops as their consistent star?
Now here's Ingram. He has 6. Quickly outside. Pass to Pirtle. Kicks it out to Barrett. Beyond the arc. Quickly outside. Picked by Pirtle. Ingram, the pass to Pirtle. That one's good on the sweet setup by Ingram.
Well, the hard work on the offensive glass pays off for Jakob Pirtle. Like to see that mindset from the big man. Goes back up strong as soon as he gets his hands on the basketball.
Now here's Gafford, taking a look at his production, averaging just over 8 points a game.
Boy, just a tough time making shots, only 1 for 5. They just need to settle in here.
Here's Quickly. They lead by 7. Barrett can't hit. Outside Christie. Pass to Gafford. Here's Flag, guarded by Quickly. To stop the drought. And Flag gets it to go on the assist by Gafford.
And setting the tempo with an assertive move. Like, Where was the defense on that play?
To me, that's a complete lack of communication on that side of the ball. These guys need to be talking to each other.
Mavericks trail by 5. Here's Christie. Misses the 3. Gafford against Pirtle. Quickly, left side. And they're going to count that bucket, and they'll send him to the line. It could be a three-point play.
Emmanuel quickly, in a nutshell right there, absorbs the contact and finishes the play.
And this is his second trip to the line tonight.
Second team foul.
What's up?
At the line for 1. Emmanuel quickly.
Down the stretch we come in the NBA season, Grant. What are the contenders honed in on?
Well, B.A., the biggest priority is to have everyone healthy. Without a full deck of cards, it's very tough to win a title. And, of course, maintaining positive momentum wouldn't hurt either.
So Jason Kidd's decided to call timeout here. And we might see some changes. Coach potentially looking to adjust. And taking a sec here to look at the leaderboard. Here are the top free throw shooting 2 guards over the last 10 games. Well, you look at Christie. He's been fantastic. Only one guy in the league better from the line.
And 2 guard is a position where you'll find a number of great free throw shooters. These guys are the best of the best.
You know, that's a very steady bunch at the line, no doubt about that. In any kind of clutch situation, if it's one of those players shooting the big free throw, you can be sure he's going to come through.
Here's Flag. He's been a big scorer for this offense, averaging around 20 points a game.
Taking what the defense gives you, exactly the shot you want, just doesn't go in.
Kicks it to Quickly. This one for 3. Perfect night so far, 2 for 2.
And they're behind right now because they're failing to play quality defense. It's that simple.
Pass to Flag. And here's Washington. Toronto grabs the miss. Barnes has got his 4th rebound in this one. Quickly outside. Now here's Ingram. Picked by Pirtle. Shot clock at 6. And the dunk by Pirtle.
They've been very effective so far. A balanced attack at its best.
On the offensive end, it feels like they're getting the shots they want, and defensively, they are connected and on a string.
And the Mavericks with possession here. Toronto making their last shot. Marshall passes to Washington. Here's Flag. Will it go? He drops it from range. Flag's got 5 points.
My goodness, that's just too clean a look. He takes full advantage.
Outside Ingram. Here's the 3. The Mavericks pull it in. Last time they met was in Dallas.
Because they took initiative and went right at the defense, a lot of the calls went in their favor.
2 things are a product of that. 1, you shoot a ton of freebies. 2, the other team goes deep into its rotation. Neither one of those 2 things is going to work.
Here's Barrett after the basket by Dallas. Outside Ingram. Back to Barrett. 4-3. Rebounded by Marshall.
At some point, do you start to think about getting others involved? It has been a struggle.
Pass to Christie. Some nice ball movement by Dallas. And Washington powers it through.
Oh, my goodness. P.J. Washington got off the deck in a hurry.
And so here is Toronto. 6-point game. Outside Barrett. Back to Quickly. Ingram deciding where to go with it. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Count it. His 3rd and 5 attempts.
Boy, hard to operate any more efficiently than this guy has this quarter.
So Jason Kidd's decided to call timeout here. Coach taking this moment to speak to his guys. Maybe alter some of the game plan.
Fair.
with the playoffs around the bend, here are the Western standings. You look at Dallas, and after a subpar season, there have been some questions about the direction of this franchise. Out to the wing. Washington left side. Outside Christie. Clock at 6. Gafford with a screen on Barrett. And it's flag missing. Toronto leading by 8. Here's Barrett. He picked up 21 points in their last win against Washington. Ingram, the pass to Barnes. Walter from outside. Mavericks with the rebound. Last game matched up with the Thunder. Tough loss there.
They just couldn't get into a rhythm offensively. They didn't shoot it well and also didn't get the best of looks.
I think even when you get quality looks, there was an inability to stay consistent. It is hard to win on a cold shooting night in today's NBA. The scoring is just too good.
And it's the Raptors with the ball after Dallas' three-pointer on the other end. Pass to Murray Boyles. The three is up. Another shot. And the Raptors getting another bucket right there.
Well, this is a big part of his game, creating offense for his team off the glass.
Here's Flag. He's got 7. Gafford with a screen on Barrett. Here's Flag, guarded by Barrett. And it's Flag missing.
Boy, not his best quarter. He's trying to break through.
After being drafted by the Knicks with the 3rd pick in 2019, we're seeing some nice improvement from R.J. Barrett, Norris.
We are, PA, and when he moved from New York to Toronto, there's 2 areas that really popped for me in terms of improvement. Playmaking. His assist numbers took a massive leap, and the other area, maybe the most needed, was his efficiency. He's a better shooter now from both 2 and 3-point range.
Here's Flag. Right side Christie. Lets it fly. And it's Washington missing. And so it's Ingram with it. He brings it up for the Toronto Raptors. They lead by 7. They defeated Washington in their last game.
You have to credit the game plan going in, especially at the offensive end, where they were just so relentless.
And that's not an easy environment to play in. To score at the rate they did on the road says a lot about their intensity and focus.
Lets it fly. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket is good, and he'll go to the line.
If there is a player who is both built for and relishes physical play, Mr. P.J. Washington, have at it.
Looking at who's out there now for Toronto. Mamakelishvili's checked in for Barnes. Dick comes in for Ingram. Shed comes in for Barrett. Nimhart, he's checked in for Dallas.
I think you have to admire the aggressiveness with which P.J. Washington plays every single night.
Toronto leading by 4. Here's Shed. He's been productive, averaging just over 7 points a game. And again, no good by Toronto. And for the Mavericks, they're shooting 41% from the field so far. Now here's Gafford. He's closely guarded. On the wing, Christie. Pass to Flag. Beyond the arc. Nails it from 3. Flag's got 10 points.
And what's working here? Each guy is willing to make the next pass.
Here's Shed. 1:27 left to play in the first quarter. Here's Murray Boyles. Oh, it's blocked by Washington. Let's see the stat sheet here for Emmanuel quickly.
Effective field goal percentage is a great way to measure his performance over the previous 10 games. It's been much improved, a sign that his game has been evolving.
Quickly is checked in for Toronto. Here are the Mavericks now with the ball. They're on a 16-4 run. Middleton outside. Here's the pick. Jacks up a three. Out to Thompson. Middleton outside. Tries again. Good on the jump shot. And the Mavericks lead by 1.
One of the purest shooters in this game. Stopping Middleton has to be a focal point for your defense.
Pass to Walter. Back to Quickly. Drives to the hoop. It's good. 9 points in the game.
Well, these coaches have told Emmanuel Quickly to be aggressive. Good things happen when he attacks.
6-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Bagley finds Thompson. Shoots from the line. Rebound Toronto. Pass to Quickly. To the inside. Here's Murray Boyles. Middleton covering. Here's Dick. The three-pointer off the mark. Well, a good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. Toronto out in front. They lead by 1. Stay with us now as we get set to bring you quarter number 2 after this. And if you're just joining us, it's been a pretty even game through the first quarter. And a look at how the offensive approach has been going so far for the Raptors.
They've been really going at the defense in the painted area, and so far the opposition really hasn't had an answer for them.
The other thing that's gone exceptionally well for them tonight is the shooting they've displayed from beyond the three-point arc.
They've got Emmanuel Quickly. He's out there with Walter. And it's Murray Boyles in at power forward. That's the group for Toronto to kick off the second quarter. The Raptors with a lead. Here's Walter. Pass to Quickly from deep. Hits the three-pointer. Quickly's got 12 points in the game.
Emmanuel Quickly in a rhythm right now, and he is absolutely a tough cover.
A moment to hear from Allie LaForce.
Thanks a lot, B.A. Raptors head coach Darko Rajakovic wants his team to be very competitive on the defensive end. He said, quote, covering for each other, protecting the paint, taking away corner threes, and making a team effort. Everybody's got to chip in. B.A.?
All for one. Allie, thanks for the report. Here's Quickly. After Dallas's three-pointer on the other end. Pass to Mamukelashvili. Toronto passing it around. Walter from outside. And the Raptors, another three.
Both teams are starting to find a rhythm here.
And this is partly what the game has become, right? A matter of dueling three-point opportunities.
Now here's Middleton. Taking a look at his numbers, averaging about 11 a game. A minute and a half gone in the second quarter. Outside Dick. To the paint. Oh, deflected. Here's Mamukelashvili. And he lays it up and in. And the Raptors lead by 6.
Credit their discipline. They've been working for high percentage shots.
Thompson scanning the floor. Back to Middleton. And it's going to be a 3-second call. And with this break, we can see the teams that are wasting no time turning defense into offense. Number 1, the Raptors.
These guys have been showing great anticipation defensively, and then they've been converting mistakes into points at the other end.
So for Dallas, Washington's checked in for Bagley. Marshall comes in for Thompson, and Flagg subbed in for Williams. And they're dialed in offensively.
Sure are. Staying in attack mode and at the same time playing under control.
Quickly from outside. Rebounded by Marshall. Mavericks trail by 6. Pass to Middleton. Sinks that one from the post. Middleton's gotten his second bucket on the night.
And using that 6'7" frame to get in there and do work, Middleton will take on anybody.
Out to the right wing. Quickly against Nembhard. And that one's good. Quickly.
Another bucket. This guy just keeping his foot on the gas pedal.
So Jason Kidd's decided to call timeout here. I think right now he might be looking at some adjustments.
Great work from your north side.
Here's Nembhard. Yet to see a basket. Pass to Flag. And now about 3 minutes gone in the second quarter here. Now Middleton. Just 5 to shoot. Goes up on the wing. And it's Toronto with a rebound. 13 points was their biggest lead of the game. Here's Walter. 5 points in the game. Pass to Quickly. Fires the 3. And that's out of bounds. Last touch by Washington. Timeout called by Darko Rajakovic. He might have seen something and needs to review with his guys. Well, few descriptions more glowing than saying a player is clutch. What, in your opinion, Grant, enables a player to be that way?
You know, B.A., it's about confidence and command. When you're able to process and execute under the pressure, both internal and external, that's when you have a chance to be clutch.
Looking at who's out there now for Toronto. Scotty Barnes comes in for Mamukelashvili, and Ingram is subbed in for Dick. Here's Ingram. And again, Toronto, no good. Mavericks trail by 6. And here in the second quarter of action, as we approach 4 minutes played. It's Middleton on the wing. Rebounded by Murray Boyles.
Boy, that's the kind of contest you need to force the miss.
Here's Walter. It's good. Only a few seconds into the shot clock. Walters has got 5 points now in the quarter. Dallas has gone 1 of 2 from deep in the second quarter. Nembhard outside. Here's Flag. He's got 10. And he throws it down with one hand.
Hey, kept it simple. No reason to get fancy right now, B.A.
Yeah, he's just looking to find shots and produce for his team. Here's Walter. Pass to Murray Boyles. Nembhard against Quickly. Into the lane. Shot clock at 6. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Quickly's got 16 points.
This guy's so fast, quickly ready to make an adjustment when needed. What a pretty drive.
Some nice ball movement by Dallas. And here's Flag outside. Rebound Toronto. Barnes has got 6 rebounds here tonight.
Nice rebound. Trying to match the other team's intensity right now.
Out to the right wing. Here's Walter. He has 7. It's Barnes on the wing. No good with the triple. Mavericks trail by 8. Grant, looking at Cooper Flag. His versatility is what makes him such a highly touted prospect.
Yeah, B.A. Cooper can do a little of everything offensively. He also covers a lot of ground defensively at 6'9". And on top of his balanced skill set, his intangibles are just elite.
Now here's Middleton. Rebounded by Ingram. quickly against Nimhart. Pass to Ingram. It's Barnes on the wing. Here's Walter. Back to Ingram. Down low. And it's quickly. That time on the assist by Ingram. And it's a 10-point Raptor lead.
Boy, quickly getting a bucket on the interior. Nicely done.
They're searching for a way to score.
Yeah, buckets have been very tough to come by.
Connects from downtown.
These kinds of defensive breakdowns drive coaches crazy.
Now here's Quickly. He had a 27-point outing in their last game against Washington.
And don't forget the sensational plays he made out there. He saw the court so well, firing perfect passes to teammates for wide-open shots.
Mavericks trail by 7. Washington passes to Middleton. Pass to Flag. Washington a screen. Lets it go. And that one's good. Flag's got 14 points.
Defensively, you can't afford to get stuck on the pick.
You know exactly what that takes. It takes energy, it takes activity, it takes intensity.
Here's Walter. He's got 7 to the middle. And there's Toronto with another bucket.
Boy, you love that play by Quickly. This guy can score or make plays for teammates.
For Dallas, they've gone 5 of 10 in the second quarter. Marshall outside. Back to Nimhart. Pass to Washington. Here's Flag from outside the arc. Rebounded by Ingram. Ingram's got 4 rebounds now. Pulls up, high post. And there's Toronto with another bucket.
And they found a nice flow offensively here in the second period.
Here's Nimhart. He's scoreless. And here's Washington to the left wing. Here's Flag. Marshall on the wing. Pass to Flag. Dallas needs to get off the shot. The 3 from Washington. Rebounded by Ingram. Ingram's got 5 rebounds in the game. Now here's Barnes. Here's Murray Boyles. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. 1 free throw coming his way.
A go-to scorer. Love seeing Ingram take punishment and fight his way through it.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. Timeout called by Darko Rajakovic. He'll take the opportunity to regroup. Change it up. And looking at the 2K leaderboard here, you see the top scoring small forwards over the past month. 5th is Brandon Ingram.
And some of the best scorers in the league play the 3 spot. You just marvel at the talent level of this group.
Boy, that's putting it mildly. The offensive firepower they're packing is superb. And their talent runs the gamut. They can hurt you inside, long range, anywhere in between. They're all just too tough to stop.
And the free throw, no good.
Yeah, and Brandon Ingram doesn't get enough credit for his growth as a free throw shooter. He shot below 70% from the line in his first 3 seasons, but since then, he hasn't dipped below 80.
And here are the Raptors now, after Dallas' 3-pointer on the other end. And the foul is called. He missed it, so he's got a couple of free throws coming his way. That one on Marshall.
A natural scorer. Every single year, Ingram seems to take another leap in his game.
He's 0 for 1 at the line, missing on his first trip.
Taking 2 shots.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he drops the first. Hits both from the stripe. Mavericks trail by 10. Pass to Gafford. Here's Flag. Here's the three. Pirtle grabs a miss.
I'll tell you, his teammates are going to start to freeze this guy out if he keeps taking threes like this.
Ingram with the ball. He had a 24-point outing in their last game against the Wizards in Washington.
And the way he passed the basketball was also a major factor. He created a ton of opportunities for his teammates, guys.
The Mavericks have gone 6 of 14 in the second quarter. Here's Marshall. Pass to Washington. Nice ball movement by Dallas. And it's Flag missing.
Boy, after dropping 2 triples in the first quarter, he hasn't hit another yet.
Now Pirtle. Now Barnes. Here's Shed. And again, Toronto, no good. Washington inside, covered by Pirtle. And Washington with the basket on the assist by Christie. Christie's got his 3rd assist of the night. Outside Barrett. Pass to Ingram. This one for 3. Hey, shooting the ball well. He's 5 for 9 in the game.
And that's his first triple this quarter. 3 total for the game.
Here's Gafford. And the dunk by Gafford.
Daniel Gafford is a vertical threat at the cup. Look out below.
Now here's Ingram. He's got 15. And that's a foul called on P.J. Washington. That's foul number 2 for him.
So that's his 2nd foul. Not a big deal yet, but you certainly don't want to pick up that 3rd.
We've got 1:28 left in the first half of basketball. 6 to shoot. There's the drive. Shed uses the glass on the layup. And the Raptors lead by 11.
They've really gotten away from the three-point shot as they've pulled out in front.
Pass to Washington. And 1:01 left in the second quarter. Rejected by Barnes.
Send it back, Scotty Barnes. Show off that defensive acumen.
Now Ingram. He's been an important part of this offense, averaging around 22 points a game.
They're going to have to pay more attention to him on the perimeter. He's hit 4 3-pointers already today.
Now here's Christie. Pass to Gafford. Here's Flag. Ingram with the double team. Outside Christie. And here's Gafford. Covered by Pirtle. And here's Flag outside. It's hauled in by the Raptors.
And it's amazing. Their slim advantage on the board seems a lot larger than it is.
Here's Barnes. That one falls. Nice feed that time from Ingram. Ingram's got 5 assists tonight.
And he's just crushing them with plays like that. I mean, just continuing to pile it on.
You want to make sure your opponent knows they have absolutely 0 chance of a comeback. Nice finish by him.
And so it's Toronto, up 14 as we wrap up the quarter. How about the way they've attacked the paint? This throwback approach is pegged in just a moment.
Hello, everybody. We'll break down the action shortly, but first, a glance at how the Eastern Conference standings are stacking up as the season winds down.
Taking a look at the Raptors, they haven't quite looked like themselves lately. The question is, how do they get back to the top? How do they recapture that magic? I think it starts with raising the intensity level. Become more aggressive, night after night, fight after fight. Aggressive is right.
And what about Brandon Ingram, fellas? We've seen some good stuff from him in this game.
Brandon Ingram is a special talent defensively. He's showing that tonight. This dude is capable of scoring on all three levels.
He's still so young, though, man. Hasn't even hit his prime. The best is yet to come for B.I.
Thanks for joining us. Time to head back over to the third quarter with Brian Anderson.
Just about ready for the second half here. A big comeback is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. Emmanuel quickly with a strong contribution so far in this one.
I love how effortlessly he scored. The game just comes so easy for him.
Now let's see if he continues that trend the rest of the way. He certainly has the talent and the endurance to do just that.
Here's Christie. And on the floor for Jason Kidd as we get into the second half. Washington and Gafford, the combo inside. Max Christie is out there with Flag. And it's Marshall in at the 3 slot. Washington a screen on quickly. And here's Flag outside. Rebounded by Ingram.
Oh, man, he can't get anything to fall. You can feel his frustration.
He is trying to shoot his way out of it, and it might be better for him to pass the basketball at this point.
Gives us a chance to catch up with Allie LaForce.
Hey guys, Scotty Barnes letting everyone know. He said, I'm a great defender. I feel like it doesn't really get talked about enough. I guard whoever, 1 through 5. That's what I pride myself on and what I'm ready to do every time I step on the floor. Back to you, B.A.
A tone setter at that end. Thanks much for the report, Allie. A skill Scotty Barnes definitely possesses is the ability to guard multiple positions, Greg.
Yeah, he has that blend of quickness and length to smother shooters, and he has the strength to deal with bigger guys, too.
Pass to Christie. Marshall outside. Fires from deep. Rebound, Toronto. Bertle's got his 6th rebound on the night.
They really have a commanding lead, not just in points, but in rebounds as well.
Inside. Here's Barnes. No, stopping him there. Jams it in, and he's fouled. An opportunity at a three-point play. P.J. Washington picks one up. Doris, you really got to love Scotty Barnes' infectious positive attitude.
B.A., those players that bring joy every single night to their craft, it absolutely permeates the rest of the roster. Not only is Scotty incredibly talented on both ends of the floor, but he's all about team, and he's trying to win, and those attributes absolutely affect the guys around him.
What you love about Scotty Barnes, he can do it all. Score it, board it, pass it.
Here's Flag, guarded by Quickly. Out of bounds, it'll be Raptors ball. And in that March stretch, some interesting things going on in the East. You take a look at the Raptors, and they're sitting with the 5th seed in the conference currently.
Well, for the Raptors, you have to acknowledge that they've really hung tough this season, avoiding a lot of the bumps in the road that other contenders have gone through.
A resiliency has been crucial for this team. Anytime it looks like they may start to drag a little bit, they've picked it back up and stayed in the hunt.
It's rebounded by Dallas. And following this game, they hit the road to challenge the Hornets at Spectrum Center in Charlotte. And they've got a lot of road games ahead. That's game 2 of 7 on this trip. And Barnes has got the ball here for Toronto. Ingram, the pass to Quickly. Outside Ingram. Shot clock at 5. Unloads. Barnes, it's good. Barnes has got 9.
Gotta fight harder to get over those screens.
You know, we see this all the time. You're basically, as a defender, hoping the man misses rather than putting in the work to get over screens.
Here's Flag, guarded by Quickly. Looking to end the run. Some nice ball movement by Dallas. Here's Flag. Again, the miss by Dallas.
Oh, man, what happened at halftime? Since then, they're 0 for 4.
Oh, and a vicious dunk by Barnes.
You know this about Scotty Barnes. This guy is an exceptional athlete. That is above the rim.
So Jason Kidd's decided to call timeout here. We might see him looking to make some tweaks to the strategy.
Protecting the rim has to be their top objective right now.
And the question they're going to have to answer to me is it a problem with the scheme or is it a problem with the matchups?
Focusing on the small forward position here, the top rebounders at that spot this season. Fourth, Cooper Flagg.
And their work on the glass plays such a key part in pretty much all of their games. I mean, they play bigger than other small forwards in this league.
Yeah, this is a very physical group of players, and all with a great nose for the ball. They don't shy away from getting down low and pounding the boards with the big guys. In fact, they just thrive on it.
Marshall outside. Pass to Flagg. Hay hangs in midair and converts the double clutch layup. Flagg's got 16 points.
They can finally relax after missing their first 4 shots to start this half.
And here's Ingram. He's got 21. Three-pointer. Washington grabs the miss. Washington's got 4 rebounds in the game. Pass to Marshall. Here's Flagg. Washington outside. Out left to the wing. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Flagg. He's guarded by Barnes. And it's Flagg missing. Here's Toronto with the ball. They've gone on a 10-2 run, not allowing much. Quickly with a screen on Washington. And here's Ingram from the arc. It's rebounded by Dallas. Christie's got 6 rebounds in the game. Boy, they'd love if anyone could get a bucket.
Yeah, their offense has been grinding to a halt.
Pass to Gafford. Outside Christie. The 3 from Washington. He drains it. Made half his shots. He's 5 for 10 now.
Well, P.J. Washington, so skilled at knowing when to rise and fire.
Outside Barnes. And here's Ingram from the arc. That one's good. And it's Barnes with the assist. Barnes has got 4 assists in the game.
This is just fun. These teams are trading threes back and forth.
Well, that three-point shot just gives you so much room to operate on the offensive end.
And that one drops.
This guy's been great, no doubt about it, but it hasn't been enough to get them where they want to be.
Here's Ingram. 24 points for him. And the dunk by Pirtle.
Well, I know he doesn't have to get too high to slam it home, but it doesn't take away from the force and the message sent on the dunk.
Here's Flagg. Marshall left side. Three-pointer, no good.
If he's got that much space, he's got the green light. He just doesn't make it.
Quickly with the ball. 18 points for him. And he dunks it. What a pass to set him up.
Wow, the hammer by R.J. Barrett. How about that athleticism?
The Mavericks have gone cold here in this third quarter. Just 3 of 9. Pass to Gafford. Now Washington. And that's a foul called on P.J. Washington. That'll get him his 4th foul of the game.
With that being his 4th foul, does the offense now look to target this guy?
Nimhart, he's checked in for Washington. Here's Toronto with the ball. They're on a 17-7 run.
And he's playing the game with a certain flair right now.
Oh, he caps off the move with a little hang time on the rim. Here's Flagg. 16 points for him. Gafford finds Nimhard. Here's Flag. Baseline jumper. Rebounded by Ingram. Ingram's got 9 rebounds in the game. Boy, he's getting it done.
And right now, they're +8 in the rebounding category. That's helping them run away with this.
Barnes. Oh, and a vicious dunk by Barnes.
All right, Scotty Barnes showing us you want to be in the dunk contest, young sir.
Well, it's always nice to head up to the Connecticut camp to get another angle of these big plays, courtesy of AT&T. Dallas has gone just 1 of 5 from three-point range here in the third quarter. Pass to Flag. The 3-ball. Rebound, Toronto.
Boy, this is the story of the night for this guy. He's taken a lot of questionable shots.
And here's Quickly. Outside Barnes. Back to Quickly. Barnes a screen. Launches it. Up again. Controls the rebound and the putback.
And now, almost all their points coming from the paint.
Marshall outside. Back to Nimhard. Gafford up top. Pass to Flag. To end the cold spell. And it's good on the layup. Flag's got 18 points in the game.
Oh, just an easy reverse for him. He has nice feel and touch around the bucket.
Outside Ingram. Down low. Gafford with the block.
Wow. A big body and not afraid to get physical. Daniel Gafford send it back.
Nimhard outside. Three-pointer. Pure from three-point range.
Defensively, gotta close out a little faster. That's a look he'll make with regularity.
Outside Barnes. Back to Ingram. It's stolen. Here's Flag, guarded by Barrett. That one goes. Count it. Flag's got 20 points.
With his level of quickness, it's tough to keep up defensively.
Well, Grant, in 2024, you added Cooper Flag to the USA Select team before he even played a game in college.
You know, B.A., he maybe looked really good, too. You know, he performed extremely well against the men's national team. And at just the age of 17, he already looked like one of the better players on the court that day. And just not letting up at all. I mean, you have to love this approach. You want to get the ball to the guys who make plays.
One thing we've learned in the NBA, the game is never over. So you've got to continue to score, continue to build your lead.
They're improving, but still find themselves behind.
Yeah, but this run started with tighter execution at both ends, and that'll need to be maintained for them to have a chance to take the lead.
Drops in the layup for 2. Ingram's got 10 points in just the second half.
Boy, bringing tremendous energy right now, and his teammates are absolutely feeding off it.
Marshall outside. Here's Flag. 20 points for him. 6 to shoot. Three-pointer off the mark.
And they're up considerably because of their efforts on the glass.
And here's Ingram from the arc. Drains the triple. Ingram's got 31.
Yeah, in the first half, he was unstoppable from deep. Now, 2 more since the break.
Here's Flag. Gafford up top. Pass to Christie. Some nice ball movement by Dallas. And here's Flag outside. He buries it from 3. Flag's got 9 points in the quarter.
And the defense is really allowing them too much room on the perimeter.
Timeout called by Darko Rajakovic. He's going to gather the troops and talk it over.
And it's time to get down to their mascot. Let's move.
changes for Toronto. Mamukelashvili's checked in for Barnes. Walter comes in for Barrett. Shed comes in for Quickly. Dallas also making some changes. Bagley's checked in for Gafford. Middleton comes in for Marshall. And it's Thompson in for Christie. A minute 53 left in the third quarter. Here's Shed. Pass to Murray Boyles. Here's Shed. Fires the three. Sends it home from three-point land. Shed's got 5.
And when it comes to the three, they've been really dialed in here in the second half.
Nembhard, the pass to Thompson. Middleton outside. There's the three. Gets the 3 ball to go. He's got 7.
That'll hype his guys up. Middleton right back with one of his own.
Pass to Murray Boyles. Back to Ingram. Oh, it's stolen away. And now the Mavs on the run. Here's Middleton. And it goes. As the official calls the foul, count it, and he'll shoot one more at the line. Grant, in recent seasons, the big limiter on Chris Middleton's game has been health.
Yeah, BA, and it's just so frustrating. Here's a high-impact player, an all-star, and he's always having to come back from something. Not what you want for anyone.
Dick, he's checked in for Ingram. And Doris, even in the latter stages of his illustrious career, this coaching staff trusts Chris Middleton to create offense.
Well, one of the reasons you hear that, BA, is Chris Middleton is the very definition of a solid basketball player. He can play with the ball in his hands. He can get off the ball and knock down shots at a high level. We've seen him under duress of big-time championship moments make every right read. It's never a bad decision to give him the basketball.
It's Middleton on the wing. Pass to Walter. Over Thompson. Walter can't get it to go.
Coaches loathe empty possessions. You got to be able to hit the easy ones.
Now here's Bagley. Now Middleton. With 1 on the clock. No good. Misses at the buzzer. And 3/4 of play in the books. This one's all but over already. Raptors out in front, running away with it. And we'll be back with you shortly. And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
Now, I know he's a big man, but he's got some point guard in him if he's making passes like this.
I'll tell you, in today's game, you want skill and decision-making at every position.
And there have been 2 very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. They've got Walter. He's out there with Emmanuel Quickly. And it's Mamukelashvili in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the 5 out there for the Raptors. Knocks it down from distance.
Have to show more effort defensively. Everyone knows he can do that from deep.
Well, to me, that's just inexcusable. You start to wonder how much they really want this basketball game.
Middleton looking around. Nails the baby hook.
And they keep on figuring out ways to force the rock inside and convert.
Pass to Mamukelashvili. Nembhard against Quickly. Here's Mamukelashvili. Takes a 3. The shot no good. Dallas is shooting a solid 47%. Middleton passes to Thompson. Nembhard for 3. Rebound Toronto. And at home for the next game, it'll be New York pulling in to face them. That'll be the second of a 2-game stretch at home. And it's rejected. And they get it back. They get it again. Here's Mamukelashvili. And at last, they get one to fall. Mamukelashvili's got 5 points now in the quarter. And so it's Dallas with it. Now here's Nembhard. And you look at the different kinds of leadership, whether vocal or by example. Which do you prefer, Doris?
Well, I'm a greedy type of person, PA, so I want both. Obviously, a veteran who's been there and done that is going to hold weight with what he says. But your best players have got to also lead by example. Give me both types, PA.
Dick with a miss. Mavericks trail by 21. Pass to Flag. Lets the three fly. Rebounded by Murray Boyles. Murray Boyles has got 4 rebounds now. Quickly against Nembhard. And here's Dick. Here's Mamukelashvili. Launches a 3. Nails it from 3.
Boy, nice pass, a little ball movement, little player movement. That's how you play this game.
Now Nembhard. Thompson outside. Pass to Bagley. Nembhard outside. From the arc. Second chance effort. Bagley, no good. The Raptors have gotten 3 of 7 attempts in this fourth quarter to fall. Mamukelashvili passes to Quickly. Pass to Dick. Clock at 6. From deep. The rebound by Klay Thompson.
Sometimes it's just not your night. Fortunately, his teammates have picked up the slack.
And that one's good. Middleton.
After an ice-cold start to this game, he is pouring it on here in the second half.
Toronto leading by 22. And timeout called by Darko Rajakovic. He's decided it's time to clarify the situation, leaving little room for error. Scotty Barnes is checked in for Toronto. Ingram comes in for Dick. Daniel Gafford's checked in for Dallas. Outside Barnes. Pass to Quickly. Here's Walter. And here's Ingram outside. He's off on that one. Thompson finds Nembhard. Well, a lot of eyes focused on NBA officiating, but where their eyes are focused is also a topic.
Yeah, the league's able to track officials' position on the court and even tell where they're looking. And you cross-check that with the results and train them where to be and where to keep watching.
All right, guys, some stats here. The scoring breakdown for Toronto.
Yeah, they were so aggressive from the start, getting the ball into the painted area. Now, they stuck to their game plan, and it paid off.
I think another thing that's striking here tonight, the ball movement is incredible. Again and again, they're making smart passes to ready shooters.
No good on the free throw.
Boy, when you think about what Daniel Gafford brings to the floor, it's length, it's athleticism, it's the vertical threat at the rim. But for me, it's about grit and toughness, too.
Catching up on the changes for Dallas. Washington's checked in for Chris Middleton. Marshall comes in for Nembhard. And Max Christie subbed in for Klay Thompson. And the second free throw is good. And you look around the league, 30 different organizations, each with their own cultures. What did you look for as a player, Greg?
Well, you know, BA, winning always comes first. But after that, you're looking at resources and how they care for their players. That's where teams are trying to separate themselves these days.
They set the pick, just 4 to shoot. Here's Ingram. He drains it as the shot clock ticks down. Ingram's got 33.
Had to rush it, but Ingram, calm and cool, delivers.
It's Washington high post. And we're seeing some younger teams really on the rise here. Any particular reason, Grant?
Well, you know, it's part of the natural order of things. Certain players will dominate, and when they age, there are always those young upstarts vying to take the lead. When he decides he wants to take it to the bucket, it's really hard for anyone to slow him down.
Barrett's checked in for Mamukelashvili.
Walker. Shooting 1.
And that one misses. Dallas has gone only 1 of 4 from the perimeter here in this fourth quarter. Marshall outside. Puts up a 3. It's hauled in by the Raptors. Outside Barnes to the middle. Here's Ingram. That one's good. And it's Barnes with the assist. Barnes has got 5 assists in the game.
Hey, they're just getting pushed around inside.
Washington outside. Over Ingram. Again, the miss by the Mavericks.
That's a shot he makes with regularity, but that time the defense up to the challenge.
Quickly, right side. Pass to Ingram. Doris, over the last few years, the NBA has done an outstanding job with replay, expanding its uses.
Well, you say outstanding job. For some, they would tell you that the replays and the reviews are taking far too long. For me, I have no problem with the time it takes, because ultimately, these are game-deciding, series-deciding, and often job-deciding outcomes. Let's get it right.
You know what? I like that play. Putting Ingram in a position to succeed.
Mavericks shooting around 30% since the fourth quarter got underway. Pass to Gafford. Here's Flag. To halt the run. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Opportunity for a three-point play here.
This is a guy who wants to score, so don't let him catch a rhythm.
Team foul. At the line for the Mavericks. Flag at the line for 1.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
And the free throw, no good.
And their physical dominance has been on display. A 10-rebound advantage is a good indicator of how this game has gone.
Fires in the triple.
Boy, defensively, you deserve to get torched from deep if you leave him that open. My goodness.
Washington outside. Well, some lament the death of the mid-range jumper in today's game. Grant, you got any fixes?
Well, some have suggested cutting out the corner threes. If the three-point line was only like above the break, teams would probably need to rely more on that mid-range.
Pass to Battle. Here's Murray Boyles. He's guarded by Washington. Here's Walter, just 5 on the clock. And again, Toronto with a triple.
Backing up that last 3 with another 3. The defense has to stop giving them so many clean looks.
Outside Christie. Washington a screen. Now here's Christie. He's guarded closely. From 17. And he didn't get quite enough under that one. And it's Toronto's ball. They're on a 17-7 run. Here's Battle. From outside, off the mark.
Well, despite the miss, obviously the shot this offense looking to generate is exactly that.
Pass to Gafford. Here's Washington. Laid it in with a nice touch off the window.
Yeah, there's a level of physicality to the way P.J. Washington plays. You get him on the interior, and look out, folks.
Here's Battle, guarded by Marshall. To the right side. Here's Murray Boyles. Tries the 9-footer. Ooh, lands soft on the front of the rim and drops in. Murray Boyles has got his first 2 points of the night. Outside Christie. And you think about the Defensive Player of the Year award. It tends to go to big men. Any thought of dividing the award into two? Maybe one for perimeter players and the other for big men?
Absolutely not, Brian. What we need to do is consider that the single most important thing it is for your defense nightly is guarding the best point guards or wings in the league. And the voters have got to understand it can't only be about big men.
Here's Murray Boyles. Oh, it's blocked by Washington.
P.J. Washington sends it back. Folks, he can be an enforcer on that end.
And the fans love seeing incredible moments on defense like that block.
Yeah, just some terrific effort there. And you know the whole team will get an energy boost off a block like that one.
Mobo, he's checked in for Toronto. Lawson comes in for Battle. Dallas has gone 2 of 6 so far in the fourth. To the inside. Oh, got a piece of it. Here's Walter.
2 minutes remaining in regulation time.
Pass to Shed. Here's Mamukelashvili. There's the triple. Gafford grabs the miss. Gafford's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Washington outside. Back to Gafford. A minute 37 left to play in the fourth. Shot clock at 6. Here's Flagg. The shot's good. Flagg's got 16 points here in the second half.
And what a complete performance we saw from them. A dominant win in every way for the Raptors.
All their efforts on the boards ended up paying off.
And just 2 tough rebounding teams, but they gave the extra effort and were rewarded for it.
And this victory will put them at 36 wins on the year.
And that's an important win. You never like to lose 2 in a row to a team, especially if you only see them 3 times.
And as it was happening, as it was building, you knew this was a monster game for Brandon Ingram.
So highly effective on the offensive end. At times, this guy just scoring at will.
46 seconds left in the fourth. Goes up at the elbow. And it's Flagg with a rebound. On the wing, Christie. Washington outside. Pass to Christie. Here's Flagg. From downtown. No good. Here's Mobo. So it's the Raptors winning this one easily, showing that they're the far superior team. They win it going away.
I'll tell you what, give it up for their fans. They love to watch this team dominate. You best believe they're all going home happy tonight.
All right, to Allie LaForce with our player of the game.
Brandon, hot shooting for you tonight. Where do you get that confidence level to take over like this?
Just coming in, working on my routine every single day. I think my teammates put me in a really, really good position to step in the shots and give me confidence on the basketball floor to shoot the ball and also give them the basketball to do whatever they want on the floor to create and make something happen. So confidence comes from my teammates.
and you've been a great teammate as well. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks, Allie. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Doris Burke, Allie LaForce, and Grant Hill, and all of our crew, this is Brian Anderson thanking you for watching this 2K Sports presentation of the NBA. And as we leave you, here's a look at our player of the game, Brandon Ingram.